the D&D Morning Show.
Da-na-na. Da-na-na.
Every time.
Woo! We're outside. It's a little bit chilly, as you can tell from our jackets.
We got our coats on.
But we wanted to get as much outsideness as possible.
That's a Drewism. Outsideness.
It's a good word.
Drew needs his own dictionary.
I'll sell it to you.
Oh no.
My new book. My next book.
Druisms.
So we wanted to spend some time outside. Winter's coming, at least at the time of the filming of this video. So if you're watching at a later point, maybe it's sunny where you're at.
Maybe.
So what do we have on today's D&D Morning Show?
We're going to talk about fun facts about scary movies. And then our big topic of today is going to be improving your sleep, especially we're going to focus on through menopause. So we had some women talk to us about menopause and say, oh my gosh, one of the biggest things that's difficult is sleep. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And then we've got a recipe and a quote to end it off.
All right, before we get started, let's get started on, fun fact.
Yes.
Fun, is it my?
Yes.
I'm telling the fun
Yes.
fact? All right.
He's going to tell it today.
So
I'll let him do that.
Fun fact is about Dorothy in scary movies. And she's pretty much not allowed to watch them.
Allowed.
She's like a little kid that watches scary movies and then doesn't sleep for a week because they're worried that like someone's chasing them in her sleep or something bad's gonna happen. And I always have to tell them like, it's just a movie.
But why? My thoughts are, why would you put yourself through that? Like, I don't get scary movies. What is the fun of like scaring the crap out of yourself? How is that?
Censor.
How is that fun?
I think it's fun. It's fun to know that like you're a bit scared, but you're still safe.
It's not fun.
Just because when Dorothy watches like a scary movie, she doesn't believe that it's not real. She's like, this isn't fun, I'm terrified. Something's gonna happen. And I'm like, nothing's gonna happen. It's made up.
And then it ruins like my whole week, or weeks ahead, because I start like dreaming of these things. And I've woken up before the middle of the night like in a sweat, like trying to run away from someone. It's true. Or sometimes I run from like the door to jump on the bed because I'm like, who's under there?
Still?
Or in the closet, I have to sleep with the closet doors open because what if someone's in there? I have to see in there to make sure no one's in there.
My gosh, it's worse than I know. Even action, too many, or too like, what's the word?
I don't know what you're going
Too
for.
much excitement around action movies.
Oh.
That's the same. That goes in the same category as horror movies. Not to watch.
Not to watch.
Cross those out. Put them in the box for Dorothy's not allowed.
Not allowed box. Comedies I can do. Romantic comedies. More my style.
All right, so we're gonna talk about menopause. I gotta tell you, I'll add in a bonus fun fact. I used to think, which used to meaning not too long ago, that menopause was menopause.
Menopause.
Like, what's this menopause thing people are talking about? So people are asking about menopause, and I'm like, how do you spell this? You with a T or an N?
She's like, how do you spell menopause? And I'm telling him, he's like, no, menopause. I'm like, it's not menopause. Menopause.
Yeah. So just don't tell anyone that fun fact. All right, so
it's our
let's move
little
on.
secret. Tell everybody.
Okay, so menopause
There you go.
in sleep.
That's right.
Where can we start off when we're talking about sleep and menopause?
Oh gosh, I think like one thing I wanted to like touch on, I don't know if this is too deep to start off with, but I'm gonna touch on it right away here, is I think with a lot of things, and not just menopause, but a lot of things, is we just accept that's the way it is. For example, we just accept during menopause that we're gonna have horrible sleeps because it's menopause, or with anything, right? Just accepting. So I think being more conscious and more aware that we can do things to improve our sleep is a good starting point.
Yeah, it's the same as we get older, we expect our age to decline.
Yes.
That's another expectation and I think that you're exactly right. If we could understand that there are things that we can do to improve our sleep, to improve our health, then we can start taking action towards it. So what's something that we can do? Where would you start off with maybe? Like for me, I would say that those routines really make all the difference.
He stole that. He asks me the question and then answers it.
I had a blank look from her, so I had to jump in there.
He says, so where would you start? And I was going to say about routines. But since you started, go ahead. I'll come up with something else.
Since I stole it from you.
Yep.
Well, routines are everything. Like they mean everything. Like we always talk about how we're creatures of habit. Like we sleep on the same side of the bed. We eat breakfast in the same chair at the kitchen table. That's just what we do. So instead of fighting that, accept it and find out other areas of your life where you can make healthy habits and routines. So we go over morning routines all the time and how important they are. So evening is no different, especially if you kind of bookend your days and do something similar in the morning every day to what you would do in the evening. So if you have that routine of going to bed at the same time, your body's going to start to slowly prepare itself to go to sleep at that time instead of just sporadically saying, I'm not going to sleep anyway, what's the point of trying?
So it's okay to have a bedtime as adults.
That's right.
It's okay.
You should.
You should have a bedtime.
Like this is the bedtime, this is the time I go to bed at a regular basis. Because then we can, if you have that time, then we can work things around it. So for example, more of a routine, but maybe you have a nice detoxing bath, relaxing bath in the evening. Who knows? I don't know if people would do that every day. We always suggest taking at least one day a week or one day every 2 weeks to have that detoxing bath. But maybe that's something you do in the evening. Playing some nice relaxing music, grabbing a book in the evening. Those are something that you can do to create those healthy habits around your bedtime.
And I think that's so important, those routines. And sometimes I think we just jump into bed, put our head on the pillow, and say, why aren't I falling asleep? I do this all the time. But it's important to allow yourself some time to prepare for sleep. Like Drew was saying, a detox bath, some nice meditation music, some reading before bed. And we suggest as well shutting down the screen time at least an hour before bedtime, because screen time is always stimulating our brain, and we need that time to wind down and relax and prepare ourselves for sleep.
And if that hour, I know that hour seems like a stretch because we're on our phones all the time. So if we're not on our laptop, then we go to bed with the phone next to the bed. So something that we recommend is not having the phone in the bedroom.
It shouldn't be there.
As challenging as that is. I know that sounds like crazy to a lot of people, but that phone is it's a distraction, especially when we're trying to sleep. So if you remove the bed, like the electronics, there should be no iPads, there should be no TVs, none of that stuff. Those electronics, they put out positive ions that kind of like keep our minds and bodies like vibrating at a different level. So if you have like a Himalayan salt lamp, for example, some nice relaxing music, maybe you burn some incense a few minutes before bed and then make sure it's out, of course.
Yeah, before you go to sleep.
But these are all relaxing things as opposed to stimulating, which we'll get into more of that in a second here, but that's a stimulant. And if we just, I'm just going to check my email one more time before bed. Well, then your mind is thinking about that when you're trying to sleep.
Yes.
So if you turn that stuff off, hour, half hour, 15 minutes instead of checking 2 minutes, then going to bed and be like, I can't
sleep. And I just want to touch on time here. It might sound a little crazy to have a routine or to make time for a routine, but it's exactly about making the time to do it. Nobody has the time, we must make the time, right? That was one of our quotes not too long ago, but it's so true. Like if we want to improve our sleep or with anything that's important and we want to change, you have to make that time for yourself, and you're worth it, right? You're worth that time. So take the time, schedule that time for yourself to have a proper routine in the evening.
Yeah. And then other stimulants we talked about or worth mentioning is what you put in your body, for example, like stimulants being sugary fatty foods, like that stuff kind of wakes us up. Sugar wakes you up. We know that when we see kids having some sugar and running around. It's the same as with adults, just at different levels, and we don't realize it. So sugar, like fatty foods, processed is a big one. And that goes back to snacking. A lot of people say or think you shouldn't snack in the evening, and we recommend you do snack on healthy foods in the evening. But when we say snacking in the evening, they tell you not to, because most people head to the pantry and you get all those processed foods that your body shouldn't be having. So that our body takes that energy that's supposed to be healing our body while we're sleeping, and it's trying to digest that food, that highly processed, hard to digest food. So instead of putting those low quality foods in your body, stay away from them. That's going to help you sleep better as well.
That's a really good point. Yeah. Good job, Drew.
Anything else regarding sleep? I think you had a good point there at the beginning when it comes to menopause and sleep, and understanding that just because this is a challenging time,
difficult time, like we understand it's difficult.
Yeah.
We're not saying it's easy.
Your body's going through all kinds of different things. The most challenging part is things that we've never dealt with before. We'll get into more videos of weight gain, for example, with menopause, or mood swings that we're just not used to, and we're like, what's happening to our body?
Yep.
So if you can understand that there are things that you can do, like creating those healthy routines that we talked about, and paying attention to what we put in our bodies, and even like screen time, like don't watch an action movie before.
Yeah,
like
before bedtime.
Like stay away from alcoholic beverages, or tobacco's another one, for example.
Right.
Coffee, yeah. These are all stimulants that wake us up. So pay attention to what's going on in and around your environment and what you're putting in your body. So we got a recipe to share this week?
Absolutely, and it's a recipe to help you improve your sleep. It's super easy, and it's a great addition to your bedtime routine. So all you do is you boil water for tea, and you get some chamomile flowers, right? The dried flowers, or maybe you pick up chamomile tea at the store. But we like to suggest the loose leaf teas for optimal health benefits. My mind was like going like this, and my tongue couldn't catch up.
Usually the other way around.
Anyway, so you're going to steep some chamomile tea, whether it's loose leaf or bag tea, that's up to you. And then we're gonna add some honey in there, a teaspoon probably of honey, and then some lemon as well. So we call this sleepy time tea.
I think that's Dorothy.
I call it sleepy time tea. So pair this with a nice book or some nice relaxing music, some meditation time, and it will be nice preparation for sleep. It would be a little counterproductive if we take our nice relaxing chamomile tea and then go watch an action movie, for example. So make sure you pair it with something calming and relaxing to get you in that sleepy stage before it's time for bed.
And do you want to add any bonus oils to help with sleep in the evening? Maybe even for menopause.
Sure.
What you got?
Tip for relaxation?
Yeah.
So my number one, it's like my go-to oil, is lavender. So you can do all kinds of things with lavender. You can put it in your bath. You could put it in like just a couple drops in your bath. You can put it in a diffuser in your bedroom a couple minutes before you go to sleep. Like just put it on like 5 minutes before bedtime. You can even put it on your skin, right? Like on your temples, on your wrists, behind your ears. Another thing is you could put a couple drops on like a cotton ball or a Kleenex to inhale it. Like sometimes I just put in my hand and like that. Yeah, so that's my number one oil.
All right, so we got nice little relaxing tea to help you sleep in the evening. Then we got some oils as well to get you a restful night's sleep.
Yes.
And then we have a quote here. What's your quote to end off the show here?
The quote is to do about sleep as well. So we got really thematic show today. But it says, sleep is the golden chain that brings our health and our bodies together.
Beautiful. I love that one.
Yeah,
because
great one.
I don't think we realize how important sleep is to our overall health.
No, we don't.
It has everything to do with when you're sleep deprived, you don't think properly.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have any energy because you're so tired you haven't slept.
It's such a cycle. It's a circle. Because you don't sleep, you wake up tired, so then you do things like grab coffee, for example.
To wake you up.
And you skip breakfast because you're late because you didn't sleep. And it's just like such a big circle. No energy. All day you're so tired, so you don't work out. You're not eating properly because you didn't sleep and you're tired. Like it's such a circle.
And it really revolves around sleep. So having those evening routines properly
in place.
Yeah, in place. I mean,
Oh.
properly, I was going to say maybe supplementing with other things like chamomile tea, for example, with lavender, if that's going to help, and paying attention to your evening routine and what you've done before. But
Yes.
I think everything has to do with your sleep.
It does.
Because if you don't pay attention to your sleep, and you just jump into that vicious cycle that never ends.
Yeah. Just keeps going because it's a circle.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to another edition of the D&D Morning Show.
Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next show.
See you inside.
Bye-bye.